Black Panther has been getting some well-deserved popularity these past few weeks since the MCU film dropped at the end of January this year. But he's been a beloved character for long before that, and as we examined in our part 1 of this list, he's gotten the alternate treatment like many other iconic superheroes and villains in both the Marvel and DC universes. So today we're adding 10 more awesome additions to our list, with the top 10 alternate versions of Black Panther. Part 2. This time around there's a few sillier versions, but fear not, we do have some pretty epic ones as well, including a certain Black Panther alternate that made an appearance on our previous thumbnail. And at number 10, Black Panther from Earth TRN 654. Continuing where we left off last list, let's take another look at a Venomized hero. This time around, the Black Panther of Earth TRN 654. From the 2017 Venomverse story arc. The Venomverse story, which felt eerily similar to what Marvel had done with Spider-Verse, started off with Eddie Brock being dragged into an alternate universe where fellow Venoms are fighting for their survival. It includes the likes of many Marvel Venomized heroes, including Black Panther, whose suit is a slick combination of T'Challa's usual mix with some symbiote sleekness. He's part of Doctor Strange's resistance and was pulled from another universe where he was taking part in a global peace summit. By the end of issue 5, he's returned back to his own universe, as are most of the other members of the Resistance. Up next, number 9, A-Babies vs. X-Babies of Earth 71912. If you're unfamiliar with the A-Babies vs. X-Babies, let's take this moment to read the preface of the comic. I quote, "The book you're about to read doesn't really have anything to do with the AVX event, but it does have baby versions of the Avengers and X-Men fighting each other. So yeah, you're buying a book where babies fight babies. What does that say about you?" Perhaps the cutest alternate version on this list, Baby Black Panther is part of the A-Babies, who are called into action when Cyclops steals Captain America's Bucky Bear, which is a teddy bear named Bucky after Bucky Barnes, which is like kind of super adorable. Black Panther, who is dating Storm at the time, decides to skip out on the battle and go on a date with his lady instead. But that's interrupted when Daredevil, Bucky Bear in hand, busts through them while being chased by Cyclops. And at number 8, Black Panda. Black Panda is part of the Spider-Ham universe, or rather Earth 8311, aka Larval Earth. He first appears in Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham number 15, and is part of the Scavengers team. This was part of a 17-issue run that initially began as a one-shot humor comic book called Marvel Tales, like as in a tale, starring Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham number 1, back in 1983, and featured all anthropomorphic animals replacing the regular human Marvel characters, with of course a focus on Peter Parker, who was now a pig. Rather than a panther, T'Challa was turned into a panda. And at number 7, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Venturing from panels over to consoles, T'Challa's Black Panther makes an appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, voiced by James C. Mathis III. His story is altered slightly. He rules the kingdom of Valkanda and uses the Time Stone of the Infinity Gems to protect it. The reasoning behind this name switch is because the Marvel universe has been combined with the Capcom one, with this being a combination of Wakanda and Val Harbor from Monster Hunter 4. And at number 6, Lego Black Panther. Like every other superhero, Black Panther has been transformed into a Lego version of himself. He appears in multiple Lego games, including Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2, and the Civil War DLC in Lego Marvel's Avengers. He even has a pet cat, named Mr. Tittles, that appears in Superheroes and in the hub areas of Marvel's Avengers. There's also a bunch of side missions with Mr. Tittles too. Gotta love that tittle. And at number 5, Ghost Panther from Earth 161. If you watched the part 1 of our list, you'll remember how we discussed a version of Black Panther from Earth 161 that was tricked by Storm, or rather an evil clone of Storm. The two were married, and on their wedding night, he was murdered by Killmonger, under her orders actually, along with the rest of the royal family. Worth noting that she also killed Killmonger after he was done. The whole thing was a ruse in order to get people of Wakanda to trust her so that she could take over as their queen. The character would later be defeated by the original Storm, who had become known as the Ghost Panther. The original Storm had undergone a transmodification process where her adult memories would be removed and put into storage. Tony Stark would then try to release her back into a physical form, but that caused her body to separate from her memories and energy state. Her memories and energy state would then take the form of Ghost Panther after Stark gave her a suit that looked a lot like the Black Panther's. She would eventually rule over Wakanda in the evil clone's place. And at number 4, Black Panther 2099, Thandaza, from Earth 928. This Black Panther is part of the Marvel 2099 continuity, an imprint that started in 1992 that was initially intended to be one possible future for the Marvel Universe, and provided futuristic takes on various Marvel characters. Thandaza was once a Black Panther himself, and is a descendant of T'Challa's. But back to that in a second. In the future, Wakanda has been severely weakened, and its princess Okusana is about to take the throne. She goes to 2099's Doctor Doom to seek help, requesting that he resurrects her grandfather Thandaza. Doom does it out of respect for T'Challa and resurrects him, but the current Panther guard Mikalia attacks Thandaza, thinking that his resurrection is some sort of abomination, which interrupts his calibration and leaves him in a constant state of pain and madness. This of course results in a rampage, leading Doom to kill Thandaza and put him out of his misery. And at number 3, Marvel Knights 2099. Speaking of Marvel 2099, one of the offshoots of that was Marvel Knights 2099, a 5th week event that took place on Earth 2992, and wasn't tied to the main Marvel 2099 continuity. It featured a new Black Panther, the son of T'Challa named Kashamba, who rose to fight the mounting invasions of the successor of Doom. Unfortunately, despite being victorious, it was revealed that Kashamba was actually a puppet of Doom's in the long run. He's also ridiculously ripped, so there's that. And at number 2, Exiles Panther of Earth 1119. Known simply as Panther, this character is T'Challa and Storm's son, named T'Chaka after his grandfather. In contrast to his father's personality, he's always cracking jokes, and is quite flirtatious and flippant. He spent a lot of his youth in America, and when his father retired from the role when he was 20, he stepped up, alongside his robotic lion, L10, who's also super dope. He's also a member of the Exiles, being recruited to the team after he was blasted out of his dimension after an encounter with Ulysses Claw. And finally, in at number 1, the Mangaverse Black Panther. Ending off this list with one of our coolest alternative versions of Black Panther, and one of the ones that was featured in our last thumbnail, derp, is the Mangaverse Black Panther. Appearing in Marvel's Mangaverse Volume 2, this T'Challa has a pet panther that he combines with in order to become the Black Panther. Kinda like a werewolf, but a werepanther. But that's not the only transformation he has up his sleeve. He also has the ability to turn into a falcon, or like a crossbreed falcon. If all that seems a little bit odd to you, it turns out that there's actually a somewhat logical reason to his plethora of abilities. The character is largely inspired by the Egyptian god Horus, and is a combination of both Black Panther and Falcon from the mainstream Marvel continuity. If that wasn't enough for you, in addition to that, rather than having Shuri for his sister, this T'Challa has a sister named T'Chana, who just so happens to be Earth 2301's Dr. Doom. Alright, there we have it, friends. Out of our 2 lists, which is your favorite alternate version of Black Panther? Mine's definitely the Earth X one. Who doesn't love a good anthropomorphic panther? If you dug this video, please show some love by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. We'd love it if you hung out with us some more. If you haven't seen the first part, you should definitely head on over there now, or check out one of the other many videos on our channel, like the ones in the playlist currently flashing on your screen. In the meantime, thanks for watching everyone. I've been Kelly Pally, and this has been Top 10 Nerd. Catch you all in the next one.